Sabbath. So on that Sunday, here are some things that you're invited to do as part of embracing, using Marva Dawn's language of embracing. Take a nap. If you're tired, take a nap. That's a great way to celebrate the day. Don't work on this day. The instructions in the Sabbath codes in Exodus and Deuteronomy both talk pretty explicitly about this. Stop working. The world's going to keep going. Our God is a big God who keeps things going even when we stop working. It's hard for us to admit that sometimes. So don't clean your house, don't wash your car, don't do the laundry, don't organize your files, don't pay the bills, don't fix things, don't repair things. So stop from work. Then the next one there is if you're married, maybe you and your spouse can get a little time together for some intimate physical activity. This is part of the Jewish tradition. Sex is this beautiful thing that God has created for man and woman, and it's something to be celebrated and often encouraged on this day. So you can get your spouse, say, hey, it's part of my assignment. Avoid anything. One author I read talked about shoulds and oughts. And anything you feel like you should, that's a should or an ought, that's kind of a good indicator that this is something to set aside for the day. Oh, I should just, finish this up. Well, it's a should. Put that aside. There's going to be time for that tomorrow. Don't study. Put those books away. I'm sure you're working hard for this class and other classes, but for this period of time, put them away. And don't make lists of things to do in the coming week. You'll remember what you need to remember after Sunday night when Monday comes around. Okay, the fourth part here, worship with your church community. Worship has always been a central element of Sabbath observance. And in preparation for that, start thinking about this on Saturday night. Pray for the people in your community, those who will gather together on Sunday morning, if that's when your worship service is. Then plan to get to your church a little bit early on Sunday. If your service starts at 10, try to get there at 20 to 10. So you have time to be in the place, kind of get settled, maybe greet somebody that you haven't seen for a while. And then plan to stay a few minutes late. Don't plan on, if your service gets out at 11:15, plan on sticking around till 11:30. Just build margins into your day so that you're not rushing, so that you have space for spontaneous conversations to happen. Number 5 on your guidelines, choose to opt out for the day from the economic system of buying and selling. We've touched on some of this already, but as a conscious way of confronting the idolatries of consumerism and materialism, don't use money or credit cards on this day. Plan meals at home or in a park with friends and family rather than eating out. This will take some preparation. If you're going to have friends over, you buy the food early. If you're going to the park for a picnic, great. Have that purchased early. As I already said, don't pay any bills. Don't buy your gas. Don't buy the groceries. Do all that earlier. So for this one day, step out of the economic system of buying and selling. It's a system that wants to claim our allegiance, that wants to be sovereign in our lives. And by stepping out of it, we say, you know what? We serve a God that's higher than the God of consumerism and materialism. Number 6, put aside mediated experiences and artificial units of time. So by mediated experiences, I mean where there's something between you and the experience. So television, that's a mediated experience. Don't keep your TV turned off for the day. Keep your computer turned off. Don't check your email. It'll still be there when you come back to it. Don't surf the internet. Take your watch off during the worship service, or take it off for the whole day, and see what that feels like to live without that watch or cell phone. I encourage you to turn your cell phone off for the day. Sometimes people use their cell phone as part of the celebration because you can call up, mom who lives in another state and check in And so there's that connection element, so I'm not going to be too rigid on that. But if you can, turn it off for the day. People can leave voice messages for you, and you can get back to them. And with all of these pieces, the cell phone, any other piece, if it's a hard thing to do, use that as an invitation to explore the idea of, why is that hard? What kind of claim does this activity have in my life, and how do I feel about that? What makes it so hard for me to give this up for one 24-hour period? Then, when you get to the end of the day, Sunday, invite you to have a simple evening meal, Sunday evening meal, where you wind up your Sabbath experience. As part of your prayer for the meal, offer a prayer of thanksgiving for the day. And then, at the end of the meal, give something sweet to each person at the table, like a mint, or in my family we use chocolate chips, something sweet, and you give it to the other person. And this is something that is mirrored in the Jewish tradition. You give it to them, you say, may the sweet taste of Sabbath stay in your mouth all week long. And then they take it, and then you've come to the end of the Sabbath experiment. It's, I don't know, maybe 6:30 or 7 on Sunday evening, and now you can transition into the things of the week. Now you can ramp back up, run over and check your emails, and do what you need to do. But that's an overview of the guidelines for the Sabbath experiment. Start planning now to set aside the 24-hour period to pull this off. And also think about the other people who are going to be involved in it. You need to have some conversations with them about expectations and how you're going to negotiate that. Because if you might be excited about this, but your kids might have no clue what you're doing or why you're doing it. Or your husband might just be determined to watch that football game. Well, you got to negotiate that. I mean, you can't necessarily force this upon others, but how are you going to work that out? So you're going to have some conversations around that involving other people in your household or roommates, and how that's going to work out. Start planning now, and I hope this is a rich experience for you.